Hi, my name is Ed Thompson, CTO of Matillion. Today I'm going to introduce you to version 1.34 of Matillion ETL. I'm going to show you what's new, so let's get started.
First, you now have a shared job feature. By right-clicking on an orchestration job and going down to Generate Shared Job, you can turn your orchestration into a shared job. A shared job alters the normal orchestration job into a reusable Matillion component. You can assign the shared job a package name, an actual name, a revision number, and a description, even its own icon. Matillion ETL will automatically detect other jobs linked from your shared job and list them in the additional jobs. Once you've located your shared job in the shared jobs resource tree, you simply drag the job onto the canvas like any other component and link it up. Shared jobs can also be shared freely. If you navigate through the project menu down to Manage Shared Jobs, you'll be able to see all your shared jobs that belong to this instance. You can import and export these shared jobs as melt files. By using shared jobs, you can take your meticulously crafted jobs and share them with other people, saving time and effort. Next, we have the Historic Task Viewer feature. Matillion now stores and displays the final state of all jobs in a user-friendly task viewer. To view your task history, you can either right-click Finish Jobs like so, or you can go through your project menu and go down to Task History. If we look at our most recent one here, we can expand it to look at the various parts, and we can click View Jobs here in the top right. Doing this reveals the canvas as it was when the job ran. So even if you've edited and changed your job since, you can use the Historic Task Viewer to establish the nature of the job at the time of running. Note that we can also see the parameters and configuration of every component that we click on. Okay, let's move on to our OpenID Connect support for third-party login providers. To set up OpenID, go into the admin menu and then down to User Configuration. If the security is set to internal, we can see an OpenID Connect login tab. The tab will let you configure your OpenID login. A range of templates are provided, but you can also choose the generic login. The difference is that it doesn't have the template information filled out in advance. In this example, we've provided a Microsoft AD OpenID Connect login. Once your OpenID is set up, a new button should appear underneath the login screen. Log in as you normally would when connecting to this particular service. As you can see, once you're authenticated, we're back on the Matillion instance and we're successfully logged in. An exciting new enterprise feature in Matillion ETL lets you check the lineage of your data during the transformation process. Clicking on the component that you want to inspect, select the Lineage tab and click the Get Lineage button. The lineage lets you follow a data column through its transformative process to learn what calculations and what changes have been applied to the data. In jobs like this one, where we have a branch structure, many transformation jobs can become very complex, and it can be difficult to see where each column came from or the path that it's taken through the process. If we choose a column here, we can expand each part of the process and follow it down to its origin, the table. You can also view the Lineage SQL, which is all the SQL that's been applied to this data since the start of the process. Another new feature of 1.34 is the Auto Debug option. When we click on a data stager and scroll to the bottom of its properties, we can see the Auto Debug parameter. It's switched to off by default, but if we switch it to on, we're given another parameter, the debug level. 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. The higher the debug level, the denser the verbosity of the information given. We advise not going higher than debug level 3 where possible, as this will write actual data into the log. In fact, we recommend that you keep the auto debug off unless you explicitly need it. Auto debug can be very useful, however, when troubleshooting a data load, or when contacting our support team. In version 1.34 of Matillion, it's now far simpler to build orchestrations where the next orchestration step is run regardless of the success or failure of the previous step. By using the grey nub to flow from one component to another, you can avoid excessive usage of if and or components. New to the Matillion ETL for BigQuery is the ability to encrypt your passwords using KMS, Google's Cloud Key Management Service. In our example, we have a Cassandra query component, and it requires a password to connect to the database. We could store the password in the component itself, but we recommend using the password manager. Here is our entry for the password we're using, and if you click Edit, you can see that the encryption type is set to KMS. This means the encryption of the password is managed by Google Cloud. Matillion ETL for Snowflake 134 welcomes two new data staging components. Zuora Bulk Query, which is set up very similar to the Zuora Query component, lets you bulk load Zuora data into your Snowflake tables via the Zuora Bulk API. The RDS bulk output can move the contents of multiple tables into an Amazon RDS database. If you want to work with your Snowflake data in a relational database, this feature will be very helpful for you. In 134 of Matillion ETL for Snowflake, you can choose a table type for your Create Table component. Permanent tables hold data indefinitely and can be restored to a point in time. Temporary tables are automatically destroyed at the end of the ETL session. And transient tables hold data indefinitely but cannot be restored to a point in time.
Okay, so there we have it, version 134 of Matillion ETL. If you need more information, always visit matillion.com. Thanks a lot. Bye.